Well, 5 days out and Tuesday night, we will know who will be elected to Oklahoma governor and who takes over running the state. So we've invited gubernatorial candidates back into studio. Democratic candidate Drew Edmondson joins us live in studio now. Thank you once again.
Wonderful to be here.
For your time
this
morning. So the days are winding down, and as we get closer and closer, I know you've seen them, we're starting to get those 11th hour polls in. Some of them say Stitt has the edge, some of them say you have more favorability. Speaking for yourself, where do you feel like you are as a campaign right now?
Well, in the first place, I think both those statements are true. I think most polls have shown Mr. Stitt ahead a little bit, but the momentum on our side and the enthusiasm on our side. So it's a horse race, and it's going to come down to the wire. And I hope you're right that we will know Tuesday night, and that it's not so close that it goes into Wednesday morning.
But emergency recounts and all that.
But it is going to go down to the wire, and it's going to depend on who gets their voters to the polls.
Who shows up that day.
Exactly.
Let's just get straight to it. Oklahoma's biggest problem is
education.
Fill in the blank.
Education right now. And, the sub-problem to that is budget. We can't fix education unless we get the revenues that we need to do that. It's going to take money to reduce classroom size and to expand the number of available teachers so we're not using emergency certified teachers in our classrooms. So we've got some work to do, and fix the revenue problem, and then fix education, number one.
And this has been such a contentious year, especially with the teacher walkout at the beginning of the year. You had a lot of districts who went down to 4-day school weeks before and after school programs were cut. And how do you tackle that? We say we need more money. In your mind and from your standpoint, where does that money come from, and where will it come from if you're governor?
Well, I've proposed 3 specific things. One, putting the gross production tax back at 7%, where it used to be. So I don't consider that a tax increase. I consider removing an incentive that worked and is no longer needed. Doing away with the loophole on capital gains. We used to tax capital gains, and we decided not to in 2005 on a theory that it would generate more revenue by reinvestment than it cost us. The theory was incorrect. It raised $9 million in new money and cost us $474 million in lost revenue. So the experts say that one needs to be eliminated. The Senate actually voted to eliminate it, and it bogged down on the House side. That would be an extra minimum $130 million a year if we do away with that loophole. And the third is the other 50 cents on a pack of cigarettes. The cigarette price increase was introduced at $1.50. It actually passed at $1.50, but it didn't get the 75%. So they ended up passing it at $1.
And let's talk about taxes. Can we pop up one of the viewer questions that we got in? This is from Stephen Bryant. Ask him if my taxes will go down. My wife works 2 jobs. I work full time. We still have 3 kids at the home and bring in less than $100,000. If you are voted in, what will we see our taxes do?
Well, unless they are smokers, I don't see their taxes being affected at the state level at all. I don't see them being affected by the restoration of the 7% GPT, and most likely would not be affected by the capital gains loophole removal.
Can you guarantee that? That we won't see our taxes change unless you are a cigarette smoker?
If I'm elected governor, I can guarantee that. I don't know what might happen on the other side. My opponent is talking about getting local government more involved in school funding, and that translates to property taxes. So if he is elected, there's a likelihood your property taxes will go up. But none of the tax measures that I have advocated would affect people in the income position that he describes.
And you have said before, too, that Stitt is dreaming if he thinks he's going to get all this revenue in without raising taxes or without getting some sort of revenue in.
Yes.
So what is your plan on garnering new revenue for the state if our taxes aren't going to change?
Well, the tax loopholes are going to be reduced. The gross production tax is going back to 7%. Capital gains is being eliminated, and another 50 cents on tobacco. Those are my revenue measures. I think we have had some growth revenue, but the director of the Office of Management Enterprise Services, which used to be the Office of State Finance, said that anybody who thinks there's going to be a windfall next year from rising economy is dreaming. It is not going to be there. I hope we get more revenue just from increased economic activity, but I'm not counting on it. I'm promoting the measures I've talked about.
Okay, and bringing up your opponent, Stitt, and also talking about money here, in recent filings from the Oklahoma Corporation Commission, we learned that your campaign raised a little over $3 million. You spent $1.3 million on ads alone. And let's pop up this second viewer question if we can. This is from Janet. She says, if Edmondson claims he will work across party lines, how does he justify all the negative campaigning about his Republican opponent?
Well, first place, you've got to look at the cut line underneath the ad to see who's paying for it. And we've tried to stay as positive as possible in the ads that are being paid for by Edmondson for governor. Now, there are third parties playing on both sides in this race, and they tend to be more negative than either Mr. Stitt or myself.
Did you try to stop them?
You can't.
You can't.
It's against the law to try to coordinate with the third party independent expenditures. So, you know, I can wish, I can hope, but I'm not allowed by law to try to change their message in any way at all.
Okay.
And I would also note that within 12 hours after the runoff, I got hit with the first negative ad. That wrecking ball ad that was out there was the first shot fired in the general election campaign, and it was a negative ad against me. And then we had the cows.
And what do you say about those? Do you think that that viewers respond well to those and believe what is being said in attack ads?
I think the person putting them on believes that, and that there's probably polling data that suggests that this would be an effective attack against me or an effective attack against Mr. Stitt. Whether or not it really has a long-lasting effect, we'll find out on November 6th. The first ad that I mentioned, the wrecking ball, I watched it 2 or 3 times, and I decided it was just stupid, and that we didn't have to respond to that because it didn't make much sense.
Winding down on time here, 2 minutes. Let's get to some of these other questions. Let's pop up this one from Eric Henry, if we can. His view on constitutional carry in Oklahoma, specifically, will he sign it when it gets to his desk?
I'm an advocate of the Second Amendment. I carried a firearm as DA. I carried an M16 in Vietnam. I have a concealed carry permit, and in past years, I had an A rating from the NRA. This year, they gave me a D.
Yeah, not anymore.
Which is at least a passing grade, and I haven't changed any of my positions, so I don't know what has caused the NRA to change its attitude toward me. I believe we have constitutional carry, and I support the Second Amendment. I do believe, however, that that should be subject to reasonable regulation. We don't want convicted felons walking around with firearms. We don't want people who have been institutionalized for mental illness walking around with firearms, nor do we want people who are on the terrorist watch list walking around with firearms. We have age limits on how old you have to be, and I think all of those are reasonable. Any legislation that would say we cannot have reasonable regulations, I would veto.
About 30 seconds left here, sir. As viewers and voters head to the poll on November 6th, compared to Kevin Stitt and Chris Powell, to be fair, why are you the man for the job?
Well, I do have the experience. It's been criticized, calling me a professional politician, but it has prepared me for this job. 16 years as Attorney General, I dealt with every aspect of state government. Our General Counsel Division represented every agency and board in state government. I cleaned out the Department of Health of ghost employees. You know, it was our office that indicted the former insurance commissioner and sent him packing. I know how to keep government honest and efficient, and I'm able to do that from day one.
Drew Edmondson, thank you so much.
Thank you
for your time. And this will likely be the last time we hear from you on our airwaves before the general election. And you're about to go early vote, as I understand.
That's right. I'm headed to the county election board. It's Thursday. Early voting has started.
Okay, good to know. And once again, here are the candidates on the ballot for governor. We had on Libertarian candidate Chris Powell earlier this week, and we will have Republican candidate Kevin Stitt on the show on Monday. These interviews will be posted online, KOCO.com.